The 2nd of November, 2022, New York City. A crypto news site publishes a leaked balance sheet. It shows Sam Bankman-Fried's trading firm, Alameda Research, holding billions of dollars in a token called FTT. FTT was invented by Bankman-Fried's own exchange, FTX. For 2 years, FTX had been the fastest-growing name in crypto, backed by top venture firms, fronted by a Super Bowl ad, and run by a man who slept on a beanbag chair in a penthouse in the Bahamas. He testified before Congress. He donated tens of millions of dollars to political campaigns. Magazines called him the next Warren Buffett. The leaked balance sheet changes that story overnight. It shows Alameda's holdings are not built on cash or hard assets. They are built largely on FTT, a token FTX created out of thin air. Investors take notice immediately. 4 days later, the CEO of rival exchange Binance announces on social media that he will sell his firm's entire stake of FTT, citing recent revelations. The token's price begins to crash within hours. Panic spreads through the crypto industry. Customers rush to pull their money out of FTX before it is too late. By November 7, withdrawal requests pass $5 billion in a single day, more than the exchange has ever processed. Bankman-Fried posts publicly that FTX's assets are fine. Behind closed doors, his executives already know they are not. Alameda cannot cover the outflows. Employees scramble through the night for a rescue deal. On November 8, Binance signs a preliminary agreement to buy FTX outright and save it from collapse. For a few hours, the crisis looks contained. Then Binance's team gets access to FTX's internal books. What they find changes everything. The next day, Binance walks away from the deal entirely. Investigators later uncover the reason. Billions of dollars in customer deposits, money that should have stayed untouched, had quietly moved into Alameda Research months earlier. It funded risky trading bets, luxury real estate, and personal loans to executives. What looked like 2 separate companies was, in practice, one shared pool of money. On November 11, FTX and more than 100 affiliated companies file for bankruptcy in Delaware. John Ray, the lawyer who once untangled the wreckage of Enron, is brought in as the new CEO. In a court filing, he calls it the worst failure of corporate controls he has seen in 40 years of legal practice. There were no reliable financial statements. There was no independent board. Bankman-Fried remains in the Bahamas for weeks, giving interviews and insisting he never meant to commit fraud, even as investigators trace missing funds through shell companies, campaign donations, and executive bank accounts. Meanwhile, Alameda's own CEO, Caroline Ellison, who had also been Bankman-Fried's on-and-off girlfriend, begins cooperating with federal prosecutors. She agrees to testify against him. On December 12, Bahamian police arrest Bankman-Fried at his apartment complex, acting on a request from the United States. He is extradited to New York within weeks to face charges of wire fraud, securities fraud, and conspiracy. At trial in October 2023, prosecutors lay out a paper trail stretching back years, showing customer funds diverted the moment they arrived. Ellison takes the stand and testifies in detail against her former partner. The jury deliberates for less than 5 hours. In November 2023, they convict Bankman-Fried on all 7 counts against him. In March 2024, a judge sentences him to 25 years in federal prison. Lawyers for the bankruptcy estate spend years afterward clawing back scattered assets from venture funds, real estate holdings, and political committees around the world. Some customers eventually recover their original dollar value, thanks largely to a rebound in crypto prices during the case. The token that started it all, FTT, never recovers, still trading at a fraction of its former peak. $8 billion in customer money vanished from FTX in 9 days.